Hello and welcome back to ManVFilm. It is time yet again for more announcements from Imprint Films. This time it is their June collection. I've briefly looked at the titles. I haven't looked at the movies too much with me, same as last month, as Philip Jeffries. Philip, um, just a quick, brief overview. Is this a good month or a bad month?
I think you're going to see how I feel about this month very shortly, very shortly. So I no spoilers, but I would
Right.
like to say this, if you don't mind. I was very upset because they just happened. The Oscars. I'm not complaining about who won and all that, but
Mm,
the in memoriam was inacceptable. It was unacceptable.
mm.
Inacceptable is not a word, and I almost sounded really stupid. Well, I am stupid, but it doesn't matter. But I highly recommend, and you know what? God rest his soul, Robert Blake. What did he ever do? He never did anything wrong. So
Mm.
I definitely recommend. What am I holding up? Electric Light and Blue,
Yep.
put up by Kino Lorber, and Lost Highway, 4K. David
Mm.
Lynch. It's a masterpiece. And you know what did he ever do? He never did anything. But Paul Sorvino is like in all seriousness.
Yeah.
Switching gears. Paul Sorvino. James Caan was recognized. Paul Sorvino was not. This is an Imprint title. We're talking Imprint today.
Mm.
Paul Sorvino and James Caan, beautiful duo, and one of the most glaring oversights was Tom Sizemore, and I could pull out so many, and this is the one that I pulled because he's second billed here. And I think this may be, I know he was top billed in an Albert Pune film, if the title eludes me.
Mm.
But this is the 4K of Devil in a Blue Dress. It's great. And I would say that he's one of the top noir characters in cinema in this
Mm.
film. Really
Interesting.
great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
There
some
we go.
glaring omissions there.
Thanks for indulging me.
Yeah, not a problem. Let's dive into some of these titles, have a little look. So first up, we have number 225, The Bounty from 1984. William Bligh, a real-life sea captain who, in 1787, steered HMS Bounty on a 27,000-mile voyage into danger, chaos, and madness. After 31 days battling severe sea squalls and Bligh's ever-increasing cruelty, the weary crew is relieved to land in the tropical island of Tahiti. But soon their tyrannical captain wants to sail again, and the desperate men turn to first mate Fletcher Christian to help take the ship by force. This is a 2-disc hard-boxed edition. We have a Blu-ray from a 4K scan of the original negative. We've got a commentary with the director, producer, and production designer, audio commentary by historical consultant Stephen Walters, Making of the Bounty, a documentary narrated by Edward Fox, a 2004 visual essay, isolated score, 2.0 stereo, 5.1 surround, and disc 2 is new features, which we have an interview with the director, a new feature on the history of film adaptations of The Bounty, which could be interesting, a new feature on the Vangelis film score, A Fated Ship, a 1981 documentary surrounding the construction of the Bounty, and Bligh's Wake, a 1984 documentary charting the voyage of New Zealand to Tahiti to deliver the Bounty replica from the shooting of the film. You get a new 90-minute feature with the cast and crew and an interview with maritime historian and film producer Stephen Walters. This is a pretty stacked edition, to be honest.
There's
What's your
there's a
thoughts on this?
there's a booklet too. I mean,
Big as well.
oh, oh. I will tell you this: I don't have a lot of Mel Gibson in my collection. It's sad. I don't.
Hmm.
I don't. And and to be honest, I know people want to cancel him and all that.
Hmm.
Well, watch Dragged Across Concrete. That's what I
Yeah.
have to say. Watch
Yeah.
that. But the only one I have is Attack Forces Zed, and I got it recently from Severin, and
Hmm.
I will definitely be getting this In fact, we'll see how much I'll be getting as we go along.
Yeah. This is one that I'm definitely interested in. Have you seen The Bounty before?
I have not. No,
Right.
no, no.
It's been a while for me, but I remember liking it. As this is it's definitely the third Bounty, Mutiny on the Bounty kind of movie that I know of. I don't know if there's any more.
Now, how is Hopkins? Is he a real SOB?
Yes, and he's so good at that kind of role. I mean, he's great at everything, but I'm looking
No,
forward to
you.
revisiting this.
So he's a real. What you fellas over there say is it's a real bad word over here, and it starts with a C. So he's a real box, isn't he?
Yes, he certainly is.
He's a real
Um,
box.
but
Okay.
just look at some of the cast. I mean, it's Mel Gibson, Anthony Hopkins, Daniel Day-Lewis, Liam Neeson, Laurence Olivier, Edward Fox. It's just an essential, really. And I think it's the only one from this month's titles that I have seen or know of. Let's
Really?
yeah. So let's if I can figure out what I'm doing here. Let's jump into the next title, which is Leap, number 226. Based on a true story, Leap is a sports-themed movie chronicling the development of China's ladies volleyball team from its humble beginnings in the 80s to its current status as one of the powerhouses in the international women's game today. The film tells the journey of several generations of Chinese national women's volleyball team and their touching stories of a tenacious struggle and glory for the country over the past 40 years. Starring Gong Lee, directed by Peter Chan. This is a 1080p presentation from a 4K scan. New volleyball team featurette, making of Gong Lee feature, and more special features to be announced. So, what do you think of this one?
I'm in because I was worried that it was going to be the way back with Ben Affleck. I was very, very worried. Somebody said that in the comment section. I was like, "Oh shit, you might be right." I guess it didn't get an Australian release, and the rest of the world, because of their region freeness, are going to be subjected to a really nice slip version of the way back.
Yeah, I mean,
So yes,
I've
I'm in. I'm absolutely in. Absolutely, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
never heard of this.
No.
I've not even looked at a trailer or that. I mean, it sounds fairly interesting, but I'm going to have to look a little bit deeper into it, check out some reviews, maybe look at a trailer or two before I make that final decision on this one.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah, let's jump on to Malena, which is number 227. Malena tells the story of the most beautiful woman in an Italian village, or if it's Monica Bellucci, in the world, pretty much, who becomes the subject of a malicious gossip amongst the lustful townsmen and their jealous wives. But only her most ardent admirer will learn the untold true story of the mysterious and elusive Malena, who inspires new heights of compassion, courage, and independence. So we've got a 1080p presentation from a 2K scan. We get the original uncut Italian version, the life and dream of Giuseppe Tornatore documentary, making of documentary, backstage featurette, interview with the director and Ennio Morricone, trailers, TV spots, more special features to be confirmed, 5.1 surround sound, 2.0 stereo, and it's a limited edition to 1,500 copies. So you're obviously excited by this one?
I've seen it, but here's the thing: is that I saw it when I was. Well, here's the thing: is you know what? The last time I was on your show, there was one comment that was left by somebody, and they said and I took it so personally. I couldn't sleep for about 3 weeks. I had to pop more Ambien than usual, and it was just a nightmare. But anyways, I love Gaspar Noé. He said
Mm,
something weird about Gaspar Noé and not like blind buying or something.
mhm.
But I've been into Gaspar. I stumbled out of the theater when I saw Irreversible. This is
Yeah.
on some label I've never heard of. I don't know what this is, but anyway, there's a couple of other ones though on Arrow Climax. Still
Mhm.
yet to be opened because I've seen this 6 times.
Right.
And
Okay.
you sent this to me, and
Mhm.
thank you so much. But I have to wait for the right time. But I've seen it about 6 times.
Yeah.
And Enter the Void, I stumbled out of the theater too, and I ran into a friend and his girlfriend at the time. At this, I went alone. Like, well, I love to go to films alone, and
Mhm.
but I ran into him and his gal, and this was quite the cinematic experience, especially since I was in the back and I could see how it made people's heads turn. So, and Vortex, I have yet to crack because I am not ready for that yet.
Mm.
But that said, yeah. Sorry. What was the connective tissue there again?
Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
Saint
You just went off on a weird tangent, and I just rolled with it. So
No, no, but Gaspar Noé was
yeah,
connected to what were we talking about here?
we're talking
Um,
about Milena. We're talking
oh,
about
Milena. Oh, yes,
uh,
Monica Bellucci and
Richie.
Irreversible.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go. That's the connective tissue. Okay, you can cut all that out. Whatever. Or you can keep it in. Who cares? We can
That's
show
fine.
how stupid we are. Yeah, but Monica Bellucci. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, and I wanted
So
to make fun of
h-
a commenter.
so how long ago did you last see this film?
When it came out, so
Okay.
like 23 years ago.
Yeah. But it
So
stuck with you. It's one that's definitely like
it's what I remember most is the poster. As soon as I saw it announced with her like slipping the heel on, I was like,
hmm,
that's a day one purchase. That's a day one purchase. Yeah.
yeah. It
Yeah.
sounds like an interesting story, to be honest, and from the director of Cinema Paradiso.
And I last night I had another one of my Monica Bellucci dreams.
Right, that's enough.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? You would get that if you were a Twin Peaks fan, but you're not.
Mm.
So
No. Let's dive into number 228, Not One Less. In the crushing poverty of rural China, a young woman is ordered to a remote village to be their substitute teacher. Barely older than her students, the shy girl is charged with keeping the class intact for 1 month or she won't be paid. Faced with an overwhelming family debt, her biggest little troublemaker disappears into the city to find work. The stubborn teacher, however, is determined to follow the boy and bring him back to school. Once in the city, her simple, pleasant pleas fall on deaf ears, and only when local television station sympathises does her search bear fruit. So this is a Zhang Yimou film. From a 2K scan, it's still to be confirmed for the special features, but it's Zhang Yimou. So, like, what more do you want, really? Like, it's an essential pickup. Yeah.
yes, again, yes. I need more of his work. I've seen a lot of his stuff, but I actually own none of his stuff on Blu-ray. I missed
Wow.
out on that sweet set that all of you like to rub in my face, and
Yeah.
it's yeah. So I yeah.
Yeah. The collaborations box set was my first imprint pickup, and it was yeah, it kind of started an addiction at that point. So
Yeah.
yeah, more Zhang Yimou movies, 100% pick up for this one. Um, well, let's dive back into number 229, My Summer of Love. So, kindred spirits from different worlds become entangled together one volatile summer in this passionate psychological thriller. Local girl Mona is naive, reckless, and filled with yearning for something more in life. Tasman is spoilt and bored and trying to escape the confines of her prep school existence when she draws Mona into her fantasy world. But what started as a magical friendship soon becomes laced with deception and danger. Worldwide debut on Blu-ray. So we've got Natalie Press, Emily Blunt, and Paddy Considine. 1080p presentation from a 4K scan. We've got a commentary with the director, deleted scenes, B-roll footage, cast and crew interviews, original trailer, 5.1 surround and 2.0 stereo, and 1,500 units, this one. Now, this is one that I haven't heard of. It sounds kind of intriguing. The cover art doesn't sell it, but when you start to read the synopsis, you're like, this could be something that's pretty interesting.
You can never judge something by you can't judge a book by its cover. But you know what? The thing is that Paddy Considine, I mean, he barely rolls out of his bed unless it's an amazing script.
Yeah.
I mean, Dead Man's Shoes, and I mean, I really think that his choices, even when he had like a brief role in the Bourne series, he's in it for like a split second. Spoiler alert. He doesn't make it, but even there, it's like it's well written and I know he's in a new Game of Thrones show. I just don't watch it, but again, I hear it's good. So
have you seen this, My Summer of Love?
No, I haven't.
Is it just the cast that's kind of catching your eye?
The cast, but also I read that it won a bunch of awards. So like I'd be talking out of my butt if I were to say which ones it won, but it did win. I think it won some BAFTAs.
Yep, it was nominated for 5 BFI awards and won the BAFTA for the best film in 2005. So,
well, there you go. I mean, it's got to be good. I mean, again, Paddy Considine, Emily Blunt is also very, very young. I mean, I forget how she's just like, I don't know, like 5 years older than me or something like that. So,
but what's strange is like, you know, we're in 2023. You're getting an announcement of this movie, worldwide Blu-ray debut. Never heard of it. Won the BAFTA for best film. It's got Emily Blunt and Considine. How does something like this just fade into the ether?
It is strange, isn't it? And it's something that I love. This company that we are discussing tonight, and honestly, this is not what my collection looks like. Like, I mean, I'm putting out Imprint stuff because we're doing an Imprint thing. I change it up depending on whatever I do, but I really do celebrate that they pull out stuff that is deep cut. They're deep cuts, and I really appreciate that, and I love them for it. So
absolutely. So it's I think this one has jumped up in my list as well, just with the cast, with the awards. The story sounds pretty good. I'm kind of in on it as well. And finally, this month we have Damage from 92, number 230. We have Academy Award winners Jeremy Irons and Juliette Binoche are lovers locked in the grip of sexual obsession. An obsession so strong it drinks passion, breathes fire, and consumes everything and everyone it touches. Directed by Louis Malle, peels back the layers as one of family's tragedy to reveal middle-aged man and his son's fiancée entangled in an intensely erotic affair that is as irresistible as it is destructive. So it's from a new 2K scan. We have God's Country, a documentary by Louis Malle, a making-of featurette, interview with Irons, interview with Juliette Binoche and Leslie Caron, one-on-one with Louis Malle featurette, more special features to be confirmed, and a 2.0 audio on this one. Now, this one's a complete blank for me. I don't know anything about it whatsoever. Do you know anything, Philip?
No, but I know Louis Malle very well. I've seen a lot of his films, but the only one I own is Elevator to the Gallows.
Right. So you didn't get Pretty Baby then?
I did not, and I feel like an arse for missing out on that one. Yeah. I really adore Louis Malle. Atlantic City, which is referenced in the in the little spec there on the film. Yeah, it's a no-win. Yeah, I mean it's a no-brainer. No win. Jeez, it's a win. Yeah. It's a no-brainer. Yes, I'm in 100%.
Yeah. So you've got Louis Malle, Jeremy Irons, Juliette Binoche.
This was also around the time that she did Blue, and of course Kieslowski did them in quick succession. So she's in Rouge as well. Spoiler alert, but yeah. But yeah, so it was a good and she hasn't made very many bad films anyway. But it was still like when she was on her hot streak. So I can't imagine it's bad. So yeah,
No,
this has been.
I think after seeing Pretty Baby, that's probably made me more interested in picking up Damage because with that filmmaker.
Have you seen Elevated to the Gallows? Miles
No,
Davis did the soundtrack to this. Oh, you must. Absolutely.
I'll definitely add it to the list. And just finally, I want to go over the month package. So June 2023, you can get all 6 of these titles for $210. That's the hard box of The Bounty, Leap, Melina, Not One Less, The Summer of Love, and Damage. So if you're interested in all of them, that's the package to go for. Now, Philip, what are you interested in this month?
Guess what? I'm getting the bundle. I'm going to buy
You're going
it
for the bundle.
I'm going to do it tomorrow. Yeah.
Nicely done.
I doubt it'll be sold out in 24 hours, so I'll pull the trigger tomorrow.
Hopefully not. I would say, like, for this month, I'd say that I'm kind of unsure about Leap, but it could be good. Everything else, there's something that would draw me in, but The Bounty is definitely the kind of standout release for me.
You're like Norm Macdonald. You don't like women playing basketball, do you?
It's volleyball.
Oh, volleyball. It shows how much I care about sports. Oh, well. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just, The Bounty's the standout one. I love the hard box sets. They're always pretty great. So, and there was one other thing I noticed on the Imprint website today when I was having a look, Philip. So they've got this little page, Selling Fast, where they've got the last remaining.
Oh, yeah. I check it all the time.
The little in stock. So you can see that Lolita's got 7 left. Audrey Rose has 3, which I'm considering picking up.
Carrie went out of print today, which you have, I believe.
Yes, yep, that was a good one. So this is like it's like a pressure situation, isn't it? Like this is kind of lethal if you go in here.
It can be, but I really think that in terms of and just in terms of what they're putting out, it's the most interesting label to me. But it requires more time to discuss, and we don't have that at the moment. So,
you said you were a little bit previously that they hadn't wowed you as yet this year. Would you feel that this announcement's like a big
I would say it's just like it's really good, like a really good announcement. And it's what I also have like coupons and things. Like I did a sale. I forget what happened. Like there was some screw up. Yeah, and then so
I think it was just the Black Friday took longer than expected.
Yeah, it didn't matter to me. I figured Australia, whatever, it's gonna take forever. Anyway, it was split up. Yeah, I did a stupid thing and split it up into 2 packages, and actually, the second one I ordered ended up here first, and then the first one I ordered took forever to get here. It didn't. Whatever. I knew it was going to get here. I mean, that's the thing. It always ends up there. You'll get it right. And I love how they package it with Australian like local newspapers. You notice that?
Yeah, it's great. Well, I tell you what, since I'll put you on the spot here as well, since we're both interested in most of these titles from this month, if I end up getting them all, what we'll do is we'll come back in a couple of months and we'll just quickly run through them all and give our quick thoughts on all the titles and just kind of rank the releases.
And we've talked about doing an Unearthed Gems thing, and I really want to do that. What I will say before we tune out is that I think it would be kind of unfair to a lot of labels because most of the Unearthed Gems, in my opinion, came from Imprint last year for me. So it'd be really Imprint heavy, and I already do look like a shill and a gimp for them. So But I will say this, that I think it's not, I don't know, I won't say if it's my number one or whatever, but until we get a chance to do an Unearthed Gems thing, I would also advise people to pick up Murder in a Blue World.
Yeah. Yep.
From
I
Cauldron.
would.
And the limited edition is still available.
Is it? That's criminal.
It's criminal, yeah. So I would really recommend that. Eloy de la Iglesia. I wanted to go off on another tangent with the Gaspar Noé thing, just because of the commenter who said something about how I might not know Gaspar Noé or something. I can't even remember what. I just thought it was funny. So, but I wanted to say that when he was in the Severance Cellar, he went directly to Eloy de la Iglesia, and if you watch it, he just goes through all of the movies and all that. And Eloy de la Iglesia has become one of my favorite Unearthed Gem directors. And so, and I know that's something we plan to do in the future. So,
yeah, that'll be fun. So, as always, thanks to everyone for joining us, listening to us talk about our thoughts on the announcements. We would love to know what you think of this new format we've got for the Imprint announcements. And is there any titles that jump out? Anything that you want to get? You need to let us know in the comment box below. Anything to say, Philip, before we go?
And how much you hate me. I want to hear that.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me feel better than seeing negative comments about some random asshole.
Yeah, it's a bit of pressure. I'm probably going to have to go and make a couple of dummy accounts now and do it myself. But hey, it's worth it.
No, you won't have to. They'll be there.
Yeah. Right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Take care.